want to make a fuss of me. But now I feel so very happy all day long. For I've met somebody, you see. Now every sundown, he comes around to meet me. He plays his music just to greet me. I always know when he is near, for this pretty mountain melody I hear.
Hello, I am Result Analysis and Communication Unit number 037. You spoke earlier. You submitted the following queries. Are hats important? No. Yes. They are not. They provide no advantage to the wearer in the war zone situation. They are a valuable source of income that contributes substantially to Mann Co funds. Problem. Hats have value to Mann Co, not mercenaries. Besides vanity, there is no need for the purchase of hats. Luckily, most mercenaries have vanity to spare. But what of those who do not? Solution. Fabricate need for the fur. My apologies. What I meant was, discover need for the purchase of hats. Potential loot. Mercenaries often consider the display of apparel to be a sign of being more skilled in combat. Does this mean hats make mercenaries perform better in combat? No. Does this mean we can make the mercenaries believe hats make them perform better in combat? Yes. Potentially. If a study is conducted with enough professionalism and displayed through the correct marketing strategies, our least optimistic models predict we could make your hat sales increase by a minimum factor of 42%. I would now like to refer you to the investigation conducted by Observer Unit number 006. Observer Unit number 006 was tasked with the data collection of the study with the aim of comparing the performance of mercenaries with and without cosmetic hats. To achieve this, multiple variables were measured. These variables were mercenary score, whether or not the mercenary was wearing a hat, and the mercenary's respawn token identification. To those unfamiliar with how a mercenary in the war zone could have a score, please refer to the papers. This is the standard method we use to analyze the effectiveness of a hired mercenary. To gather the required data on the variables, the observer was inserted into multiple engagements throughout the bedrooms. One important factor about these engagements is that they all had to revolve around a payload. This was to help eliminate any source of variation not related to attire. Once deployed on the field, our observer would photograph every mercenary on both teams, then remain neutral until one side prevailed. Once this occurred, the score of every individual would be recorded, whether or not they were wearing a hat. Then the data was filtered so that only mercenaries that were present at the beginning of the battle were recorded. This was necessary due to certain limitations of the respawner. Occasionally, hired mates become stuck. This is no major issue for reliable excavation demolitions or builders league. United as a whole, usually they will come out, but it results in the token being unavailable for the rest of the engagement. Thus, only mercenaries that were present for the entire fight would be recorded. This was repeated for 25 engagements, with a total of 605 mercenaries being recorded. 7. The results of the experiment showed that mercenaries wearing hats could perform better than hatless mercenaries. To be more precise, the average score of the hatted mercenaries was 7.07 points higher than the average of the non-hatted mercenaries. For the median enthusiasts amongst us, the difference in median was 8 points. This outcome was supported by the data analysis, which showed a p-value of 0.000193 when the t-test was conducted. In case anyone is unfamiliar, a p-value is the probability that variance in a dataset is explained by random variation as opposed to a clear trend being present. Stated simply, a lower p-value shows a higher chance of a statistically significant relationship between variables. Any p-value below 0.05 is generally considered to be statistically significant. A p-value of 0.000192 shows a clear correlation between the two factors of mercenary attire and performance. Our sponsored investigation into the connection of apparel and performance has returned with a desirable outcome. We have discovered a clear connection between use of hats and better performance on the battlefield. To be clear, this outcome does not mean hats can make mercenaries perform better. We have observed the correlation between two factors, nothing more. However, this outcome will support your marketing narrative. The rumor that mercenary attire and performance are linked has finally been proven. Definitely not proven to an acceptable scientific standpoint. To be accepted in official scientific circles, much more study would be needed. Fortunately, your customers are not scientists. Fortunately, your customers are not respected scientists. You may now use the correlation of performance and hats with scientific backing. Thank you for hiring our services once more. It is always a pleasure to work with Mann Co. If you wish to request a further investigation into this topic, commission a new study or simply have questions about this presentation, please do not hesitate to contact us through the courier link that delivered the package containing this recording. So long as you maintain your generous donations in the name of science, we will always be there for you. Remember, is always watching.
Oh, I do like roaming with that girl of mine. I love to hear the murmur of the summer breeze sigh through the blossom on the apple tree. And when he loves me, I'm as happy as I